Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about desert control. No, why on earth is this important though? Why should you care? The fact that 99% of all the world's daily calorie intake comes from the soil. According to Promesing between 1920 and 2021, about 30% protein decline in corn, magnesium content in vegetables has declined by over 25% by that time, and it just continues. A massive amount of synthetic fertilizers to continuously grow crops. 50% or more of the nitrogen from the fertilizers leak into the environment, even according to PMC.NCBE. An alarming decline in nutritional quality foods, the biggest challenge for future generations. That 70% of the world's fresh water is consumed by agriculture, and 40% of this is wasted because of inadequate irrigation systems and poor water management systems. That's according to coolfarms.org. What are the root causes for soil degradation though? It's industrial farming, basically, over farming, and it's deforestation and insufficient irrigation, overly use of chemicals. According to futuresoil.o, apparently 50% of applied nitrogen fertilizers are lost due to the plant not being able to then fully utilize it. And apparently, according to the same website, apparently up to 90% of the soil would be affected by degradation. With the increasing population, at least in the global south, that could be an issue. Why I think this company is important though. So here you can see it. This is Desert Control's product. It's called LNC, which is liquid natural clay, which is apparently made from clay and watered, patent, obviously with a special technology. It's a completely natural product with no chemical additives. So it works apparently, based upon how I've read, where it's applied directly into the soil and the land, and then it enters the root. It assists the plants, crops, or make structures that retain more of the water and nutrients, which means you use less water. And here, and this is from the University of Arizona, where they saw an increase in lettuce production of between 20 and 50%, as you can see here, using the LNC product to the sandy soil and the land area through the irrigation system, where apparently the solution is hooked to like the water supply in the area, and then they use the sprinklers and irrigation system to then water the agricultural produce, where apparently then enters the root of the plant and the agricultural produce, and then form structures inside of that root to then make, with the structures being able to retain more water and nutrients. Also improved soil health, increased quality, and increased crop yield.
Soil compaction, soil enhancement, water retention.
Oh, is there any proof for this? An ongoing field trial in Saudi Arabia has produced some interesting information where they apparently have up to 2 times more water retention with this treatment from Desert Control at a turf farm, and another showed up to 3 times increase of nutrients holding capacity compared to those not treated. Bear in mind, apparently this is studies from the company and from their partners rather than like independent sources, if I remember correctly, to bear that in mind. And what is another interesting thing is that they have just went in with a contract for manufacturing of the first new generation product unit this year. So this year they will start producing or manufacturing them for the partners and new customers. And this is obviously they're producing in Norway, if I remember correctly, on like the west coast, called Sandnes. How do they deliver this? They apparently go to the area where they are needed, and then they test the soil, test the quality, how much it needs, and water conditions, and then apparently test the samples, and then after testing it, then they formulate it, and apparently then they bring in the units of like the produce, LNC, and then they hook it up to the water supply and then irrigate it. And apparently one treatment lasts for 5 years. The increasing need for ways of protecting soil and protecting nutrients in food with the degradation of the soil and agriculture throughout the world due to overfarming and overpopulation, where having to increasingly use fertilizers and so forth. And in the future, like due to the increasing depletion of the soil, then this company could flourish in the future due to the fact that this is something that's needed, and it's an issue now with like waste of water, and especially in Africa and the Middle East and Asia, with desertification and so forth. This company could benefit though with assisting conserving water and containing the nutrients in the food. So this seems like a very interesting company. So I hope you have thoroughly enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you like this. This is something new. I usually talk about mining companies, oil companies now recently. So this is just something I wanted to add due to the fact that I thought this company deserves some extra publicity. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this. Like and subscribe. Have a blessed day. Peace.